Nothing touches the skin but silk.
Some dry, I think, yeah. So I thought
Dry
it was dry
DONAIR sauce?
Yeah, I think it is. It was. Yeah, only at Lauren's house.
You have some dried, I think it's DONAIR sauce. It could be something
Well, I thought
else.
it was skin first, but it's not
Gross.
skin at all. So.
It's Watch Me Eat once again, and today I'm joined by my two very good friends, Tiffany and Bryce. And Tiffany and Bryce are a couple, and it's their anniversary today. Yay! 3 years?
Three
big years.
And they're like, let's come hang out at Lauren's house and eat stuffed crust pizza for our anniversary. Okay.
Yeah, that was totally part of the plan.
I didn't really force you, did I?
No, and we
not at
haven't
all.
made this from the cookbook yet, so
Right.
that's why we're very excited.
Very excited.
So I told you I was going to do this more, like make it like a real legitimate talk show. And instead of like having a recipe that I made in a Hot for Food video, I actually just made this from scratch. So it is the stuffed crust pizza from Vegan Comfort Classics. But instead of making the stuffed crust pizza from the book, I added the Saved by Seitan, thinly shaved. I also added red onions, tomatoes, pizza sauce, vegan cheese, stuffed the crust, and it's a DONAIR stuffed crust pizza. And I made a DONAIR sauce.
We were talking about this when I made one, remember?
Yeah,
And
this was inspired by you. That's why we did it, because you made this at home.
I did, but the DONAIR sauce, it was just like when we did it. Apparently, Bryce said it's because I didn't have any rice flour, because I couldn't make it thick.
I feel like rice flour would give you the consistency because it's made with condensed milk. So I was like, rice flour's kind of worked for us to thicken some stuff. I tried.
That looks really thick.
What did I try?
Speaking.
Arrowroot. I tried like 4 things. Self-rising flour.
Did you use almond milk or coconut milk, or what did you use as the liquid?
I think cashew.
I think
milk.
cashew.
So
Yeah,
this is
it didn't work.
cashews blended.
Oh, that's what I think.
You can already tell it's thicker. You can
It's
see
thick.
it in the thing. Yeah.
Are we ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
DONAIR sauce.
Here we go.
Saved
We'll
by
see.
Seitan, made like DONAIR.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
God, it looks good.
That's right.
I'm so glad you don't have a beard anymore to eat this on television.
Oh yeah. I don't
Get
think
lots
that
of
would work out
sauce
very
in the
well.
beard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
check this out, and the crust is stuffed.
Which
so,
is amazing.
So the sauce is on the blog. I actually put this recipe on my blog, but you do need the cookbook in order to make the dough, the seitan. So just go get my cookbook. Obvs.
Obvi. Bryce, are you gonna make us a drink or what?
Oh yeah, we're celebrating
100%.
your anniversary.
100%.
So what did you bring?
Brought some rose gin from Dylan's.
Love that
It
gin.
fell out of the bag on the road, so it's a little banged up, but
You fit
Didn't
right
break.
into Parkdale when that happened though.
yeah, it didn't
So
break.
did
People
so
did
it's okay.
swarm actually when it fell out of the bag.
People were concerned.
I was like,
No,
mine.
I don't think they were concerned
Oh,
about
they
the.
wanted to steal
yeah, I
it.
think they wanted the gin from.
Yeah, I had to
from
like
the
call it. No races, that's mine.
Yeah.
to be honest, I've never had the rose gin.
I'm just
I don't know
free
what it
pouring
smells
here.
like.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I think that's good.
I don't know
smells
if these
good.
are the right proportions.
This is my favorite gin. Bryce is the jam man. You've seen me
I
talk
am the
about
jam man.
penny candy jam, and this is the maker of the jam right here. So we're gonna make a jam cocktail, a gin jam.
Gin jam mashup.
We're gonna see how it goes.
We're gonna see how it goes.
Bryce actually eats jam and everything, so
That's beautiful.
he even
That's gorgeous. Look at that.
he even puts it in his. So you know there are times in your house when you don't have any milk to drink with your
Yeah.
cereal.
Yeah.
So Bryce will put water and jam in a bowl and eat.
It's not my
That sounds
proudest
a
moment.
little bit gross, like putting orange juice in your cereal.
Yeah, it's not my proudest moment. It is kind of like orange juice. It's not good. Cashew milk with jam is awesome. Like if you have milk
Yeah.
with jam, it's actually
That's
good.
like
his cereal,
strawberry
though.
milk or like raspberry milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do blueberry or raspberry. and
Okay,
it's-
that makes sense. Now this,
fantastic.
everyone knows my favorite flavor is
Yeah,
the raspberry
100%.
bay and lime.
Yeah.
Sold out across the nation. No, I'm kidding.
It is pretty much sold out right now, actually. Yeah.
Pretty much. Don't order any.
I really don't order any. But
That's-
if they wanted to order it,
They can.
They sure
On-
can. pennycandyjam.com.
Actually, by the time this is on the internet, I feel like you will have some more raspberry jam.
we'll have made more.
I think so. Hopefully. Yeah.
Well, happy anniversary.
Thank
oh
you.
my God.
Yay! It's also my
So-
mom's birthday today.
Oh,
Aw.
And Bryce's parents' 10th anniversary of owning the cottage.
The cottage, 10 years.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so
Oh
good.
my God.
this
so
is so good.
That's amazing.
But like, it doesn't even taste like rose anymore. It tastes like candy.
It does taste like candy.
Like
Penny
candy.
I wasn't even setting you up.
It just happened.
It tastes like
Maybe you guys need your own show.
It tastes
I
like
think.
penny candy.
It does. It does taste like candy.
Sponsored by Dylan's. This is fantastic. Wow.
Not sponsored by Dylan's.
Lucky for Nat, who gets to see us later.
Hashtag not
Hashtag
sponsored
not
by Dylan's.
sponsored.
Okay, I need to eat this pizza.
Okay,
Yeah,
so let's
do it.
dig into this, and then I want you to tell the fun story of how you met, because so I've been ranting and raving about my dating life on this show a lot, and I think we need some refreshing, promising love stories, and that's why it's great that you guys are here. Yeah?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
really
so
good.
what do you think of the sauce?
100%. Can I try it on its own? 100% for me. Tiff is the expert.
Can I try some on its own? It's very delicious on the pizza.
Because she's from New Brunswick.
Yeah, you're
so,
from New Brunswick, where the donair is like the thing, right?
like, that's what you do when you get
Oh
out
no,
of the
that's
car.
really good.
Any time of day.
It is the first
Donair?
thing you tried, right?
Yeah.
When you came home.
100%.
Or was it, I'm sorry, vegan friends, but deep fried clams?
It was deep fried clams. Which was just like it sounds.
Could you put that on deep fried clams?
Yup.
Really, what do you eat them with? I don't remember. I haven't had them
Nailed
for
it,
so
right?
long.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah,
It's
garlic.
also good
If
and
it wasn't,
spicy.
you can say.
What is, no. What is
Oh.
spicy?
So I put
Red
some
pepper
chili
flakes.
flakes
I'll tell
on.
you my real opinion after tea. Kidding. No, it's really good.
So I went to Halifax recently and had vegan donair at Johnny K's. They didn't have a vegan donair sauce, so I had it sauceless, which was no fun.
No
but
fun.
it was shaved seitan, tomato, red onion,
Yeah.
and that's pretty
Your
much it.
seitan is next level. I mean, ours was good. This is my Uncle Alan is obsessed with your cookbook. So he's cooking his way through. But what he told me about your seitan is he doubles the spices when he makes it.
Oh.
So he's like, it's good. I made it her way the first time. But then the second time I
He
doubled
doubles
the
everything
spices.
and it's better.
That's what he says.
You
I
know
don't
why?
Shit.
I
Double the spices, man.
I don't know.
That's not gonna hurt it.
It's not going to hurt it.
I think for donair maybe.
But not for
Because
like
donairs are very like
Interesting. Okay.
flavored. Like there's a lot of spice, so maybe.
So
the,
interesting.
but if you're making a donair pizza,
Yeah.
maybe, and you're making the seitan just for donairs.
Yeah.
or making a donair wrap.
Yeah.
Okay, so make the saved by seitan with double the spices for donair. Thank you,
Maybe.
Uncle Alan.
Thank you, Uncle Alan.
Thanks,
Uncle
Uncle Alan.
Alan.
Yeah.
Hit us with some love, guys, because I'm getting real sad about just, what I'm going to do with my life.
Yeah.
And you're one of my favorite couples, so...
Oh man. Well,
I
you
was
just have
in
to go
your-
axe throwing, and then things will be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Things
meant
will be fine.
All you
meant
have to do
axe throwing. Okay,
Just
so
if someone
tell.
asked you to go, just say yes.
I've
I
never
was in the
been.
same boat as you. I think Tiff was happier than I was. I wasn't very happy at the time. Tiff's always happy.
Interesting.
Tiff's
Tiff
always
is
happy.
always happy, yeah.
No, I was you. I was lovelorn, and is that the word? And yeah, not feeling great.
Not feeling hopeful, like being like, ugh.
Yeah, yeah. Not so much like down on my luck, just like what am I doing, And then someone from work, a young guy, I mean younger than me, like by 10 years, my colleague, invited me to his birthday party, and I was like, and we had been talking about going axe throwing. You need 12 people to go. And it was like, can we find 12 people at work? And it's always hard to coordinate. Everyone's got families. They live like all over Ontario. Blah blah blah. Okay, so we're asking around, and then months go by, and he says, I'm doing it June 28th, 2014. Like obviously I remember the date. And he goes, yeah, so let's go. Like I have 11 people. If you come, we're going. I'm like, perfect. So I agree to go to this younger guy's birthday party. So I'm like,
And you're kind of like, ugh.
I'm a little old. That's cool.
It's
And
okay.
I'm feeling, right?
Yeah.
I could see this type of thing
Not-
happening to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, I'm not 23.
Exactly.
And it was a 23-year-old boy's birthday party.
Child.
It was child. So I'm like, what are we even going to talk about? Like, I was at the beginning of the internet. I don't know all these memes and stuff. Like, I don't know what's going. Like, this is,
You're
what are we
so-
gonna say? I'm gonna look like an old idiot, And so my sister had a party. She had a
So
summer,
you got drunk, basically.
Yeah,
That's
so I
what you
got
did.
drunk beforehand. I was like, well, obviously, if there's any girls, I'm gonna be charming as hell, and I'm gonna have so much to say, and they're gonna think I'm amazing, which totally panned out.
Yeah.
So on the way back from my sister's place, which was downtown, to my place, which was midtown, I popped a tire at King and Bathurst, on Bathurst. So I had a flat tire, and I was like, okay, I have to take the bus. I'm like, oh, D, I'm gonna be late. And he's like, it's cool, we're just showing up now. Like, I think you guys were somewhere, and then driving over. So I was like, okay, oh God, I'm on the bus. I'm like, I don't want to go anymore. Like, I don't have my bike. I don't feel safe. I just bought it, and I was like, ugh. So I go to the LCBO, of course, and I get there because you can drink and throw axes.
LCBO is the drinking store.
The drinking store. So I go to the drinking store for drinks. because that's where you get your drinks, and because I needed to keep drinking because my confidence and my courage was wearing off. And I'm on the bus.
But something told you, keep drinking.
Something told me, keep drinking and don't give up, right?
Yeah.
All hope is not lost. So then I get there, and this girl just runs up to me, and she's like obsessed.
I did not run up to you. You were such a liar.
So I get there, and I put my beer in the fridge, and I think I shotgunned one immediately. So I open my second one.
Behind the fridge door, like.
Yeah, like, oh God. And then I just met everybody. We did the introductions, and then we're doing the round robin. So we're just trying to like decide I think the throwing order. Like you learn how to do it. You spend like an hour learning, and then you spend, some time like figuring. They sort of assess your skills.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be up against who?
Is there a teacher?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a guide.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
someone with
Okay.
you. And at that time, you could drink. You could still bring your own food. But you can't drink anymore, or whatever.
That
but
must have turned into a bad thing then for someone drinking and throwing axes.
I think they were just losing money.
Oh.
I think it was just like there's a little more potential here, and the insurance was kind of probably pretty wacky. So we did our thing, and we're talking, we're playing, and we're throwing, and it's going well. And then,
I just want to say that I beat him.
okay, well
Hard.
that's
Like,
Oh,
I
that was
really-
the
just
whole
like
punchline.
just run towards the punchline.
I thought
That's
you were
like the
gonna
fourth
skip
time
ahead.
this week. No, I don't skip ahead. We're telling stories. You want to hear a story? Do you want to hear like?
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry.
This is like an application for like a thing,
Okay.
This is the thing where someone actually asks you to tell the story the right way. Cut that part out. So anyway, so I get there, and this girl runs up to me. So all of a sudden, like it's our round, and we're head to head.
You
Tiffany.
two are head to
Yeah,
head.
we're head to head. And of course, like I'd been watching her play and stuff, and I thought she was attractive, whatever. But at that point, maybe I thought everyone in the world was attractive because I was single, kind of lonely, old man, creepy, pervert.
Okay,
drunk,
well,
right?
I don't know about
Like a creepy drunk old man pervert. So
a 23-year-old's birthday.
yeah,
Right?
Wasn't even invited.
Wait, why are you there again?
Because I knew Derek as well.
Okay.
I knew him through other friends. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, knew the birthday boy from other friends, so it was like a friend connection.
Love it, yeah.
Yeah. So no, so I so we had our round, and then I was just like, well, enjoy losing. Like I'm sorry in advance, right?
Like this is how you said that?
Yeah,
like
pretty
this
much.
I was
is
like,
what you're
I'm
doing.
sorry in advance.
That's what you should have worn today.
This isn't gonna
Same
go well for you.
outfit.
Did you wear plaid?
No.
No, I wore
A
a baseball shirt, which I still wear to games, and a Jays cap, which is gross now, but I still wear it to games.
Did you have a
And-
beard?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I had a beard.
A little bit longer.
Not
than
a
this
full
one.
beard,
Not
just a bit
much.
longer.
Okay.
Yep.
Number 4.
Glasses?
Not that night because he had been drinking.
Glasses?
You
You
have
didn't
them
have
on?
the, you had your glasses?
No, I had no glasses.
Beer goggles.
Yeah.
No glasses.
I had my beer goggles on, for sure. And and then Tiff brought it like harder, and I was like, oh. She was like,
And
well,
were you being like flirt? Like what were you being like?
No. Well, interestingly enough, like before going, I actually that night was like all writing in my journal and was like, I don't want to go to this stupid birthday party. And I really, when you go back and read my journal entry, it was like, why do I have to go to this thing? It's so stupid. But I'd already promised to go, and you have to pay $40. Like, so I was like, I don't want them to have to pay more because I don't go. So I went. And I got there, and of course, the same. I was equally as old as Bryce, and actually, I'm a year older. So,
No, I didn't.
yep.
Yeah. 2 years.
I'm not 2 years older than you, maybe for right now. Or
Just
for a
after
few
your
months.
birthday.
Yeah.
After your birthday.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Okay.
But I was like, I promised I would go, so I'm gonna go. And then Bryce came, and he had definitely had some drinks. But weirdly enough, and we only told each other this like maybe, I don't know, a year and a half later or something. But the first thing I thought when I saw him is like, I'm gonna kiss that guy. Like it was so weird. Like it was so
You
weird.
thought that right away.
He thought I would be a good mom right away. But anyway,
Just,
Oh,
is that not a sign?
is that not a sign?
that's what you thought when you saw her?
I was just like, she looks so kind and
I'm
loving.
gonna die.
Isn't that weird?
And so
No,
that
it's
weird?
great.
So
That's
it's-
like the universe.
So it is kind
communicating
of strange that
through
those
you.
were the first two things, and
Yeah.
then I
Okay.
did, and then during the games, like I was definitely giving him, I was shit talking him for sure because I
Hard.
was like the only girl who was moving forward to all the like next level,
Yeah.
next level, and so I was definitely shit talking him, and then he ended up getting kicked out.
No.
Yes, you
I
did.
ended
I made it.
I ended up barely losing to dolphin arms. His arms were the size of the dolphin snout. really, really huge. I think he was a ringer.
Right.
He was in like the Olympic. I think he started the league. He owned the place.
That's
like this guy
so
wasn't.
funny.
He wasn't
Okay.
real. He was.
Yeah, so,
jacked.
and then we finish, and then everyone's drinking except for me because, first of all, I didn't want to go. Second of all, I drove because I'm like...
So you weren't drunk at all?
So I didn't drink at all. And so at the end of the night, I said, as we're walking out of this axe throwing place in the middle of nowhere, it's like Cherry Beach or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, way in the East End. Yeah.
And I was like, does anyone need to drive anywhere? Because I'm going. And truthfully, in my head, I was like, how am I going to get this guy's number? Because I'm not asking the 23-year-old. That's awkward. Because we're not really, like, we were friends of friends. Like, it was this weird thing. And then I was like, okay, so how am I going to get his number? This is weird, but whatever. Well, it'll work itself out. And so then literally there was a whole bunch of people. And I said, does anyone need a drive? And everyone's like, no, actually, we're going to the Mill Street Brew Pub. And I was like, okay, everyone, see you later. And then literally out of nowhere, this guy's like, actually, where are you going? West End? I need to go to Kensington. And I was like, okay. And then...
I didn't say it like that. That makes it
And were you like, when you asked, was that like out of utility? Like, I do need a ride?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I also needed a lift.
It wasn't like a bit in the back of your mind going like, oh, I should just go with her on this ride.
100%.
No.
No.
Okay.
It was about 80%. That's good luck. 20%, maybe a little more than 20%. I don't have a ride.
Yeah. Okay.
And the bus is weird over there. I got lost because I'm a get lost kind of person. Like I get lost easily.
Yeah.
So I got lost. I was like, oh, where am I going? I had to Google map it. I didn't want to do it again. I didn't want to wait for an hour for some dumb bus by the beach. Like it didn't make any sense.
Yeah. But then when I drove him home, like whatever, we talked on the way home.
Yeah.
He made fun of me because I didn't understand his Seinfeld. And
Oh, the
Simpsons
Seinfeld
were-
references and the Simpsons references. I'm like, oh my god, you're way too young. I'm
Thought
so
I was
sorry.
a baby.
I thought she was 23. Like I thought that she was.
Oh, this is what you're thinking. You're
Yeah.
thinking
In the
she's
car,
the same
yeah.
age as these
Yeah.
other people.
I mean, I didn't have glasses and I was wasted. But yeah, no, I was like, you're too young, you know, whatever. And she's like, how old do you think I am? 23. She's like, oh, okay. And then we ended up being the same age. So I was like, okay, this is too perfect.
But the girls are like, why don't you watch Seinfeld and The Simpsons?
Yeah, I was like,
Tiffany?"
let's go back to that
He
thing.
still gives me shit for that all the time.
Like every day.
Yeah.
Because every day there's a new reference.
You make a reference every day if you
Come on.
watch those shows.
I mean, the world makes references every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we ended up, I was like, look, we're just sitting outside. So I was cat sitting my friend's condo, amazing condo, full of doll houses and little girl drawings on the walls.
Not cool for like.
Not cool for a first time meeting a guy, I'm sure. I forgot that it was there because every time I was there, I just saw the same thing. But there was a 4-year-old living there, so obviously it was
Legit Barbie house, like
7-year-old,
full.
Oh my god.
like carousels and like.
Man,
all
you
sorts
really
of
did
stuff.
look like a creep when you go into that.
Psycho.
Wait, and you went in?
Yep.
Not right away.
Immediately.
Bryce, don't
Yeah.
lie.
She followed me. I was like, bye, thanks for the lift. And she came in.
That
I was
is
like,
not true.
What are you doing here? No, so we're
Liar.
sitting there and I'm like, look, we're just wasting gas here. Let's grab a drink. Because I had a spot in Kensington that I love to go.
Oh, great.
And trick girls into thinking I was cool. No, and having a fun time. So we went to Thirsty and Miserable. We got a beer. I didn't know what she liked, so I got her lager. She didn't like it. But she didn't like IPAs, which Seinfeld's Simpsons IPAs out. What am I doing here?
3 for 3.
3 for 3. And then we went to grab some food. So we walked
Wow.
around forever. We walked down to Dundas or Queen or something.
Spadina and Queen. yeah.
Spadina and Queen. We walked down to this veggie dog place, and then we went back to the condo, and that's, I think, where she met the dolls and the finger paintings. And then we hung out for a bit. We talked all night, and I think she got home at like 5. Worried about the dog. Had to go home for the dog.
Yeah.
I did.
you-
I was like,
she
I gotta
has
go
a
to
dog,
Penny.
yeah.
I gotta
Young
get home to Penny.
And
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about Penny. I had my cat. My brother was watching my cat. I'm like, the cat's fine. So that was that.
And that really was that. That was
really
that because
was
it went
that.
so quickly because I know that this all moved very fast.
very fast.
Yeah,
And
that
then-
was Canada Day weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then no, we exchanged numbers.
Yes, we did. You told me it was a fake number, so I didn't know if it was real or
Well,
not. And then the
obviously
next day, he went to the island with another girl on a
Friend of mine.
picnic.
Right,
Friend
you
of
told
mine.
me this.
Friend of
And
mine.
so I was like,
Real friends.
he's not texting me all day, and he's at the
Yeah,
island
but
with
friend
some
of yours,
shit.
but as far as she's
How
a
am I
friend
supposed to
too,
know?
she's
Yeah.
maybe the same level as
Well,
her at this
well,
point.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
that
know.
would freak me.
And so
I'd
all
be so
day,
stressed
all
out.
day, I was like, oh, so he's not texting me back, and he's with some chick on the island. And then he's posting pictures of himself on the island, like standing at the rocks like this and stuff. I was like, oh, okay. Well, there goes Bryce, because he was super into Tinder at the time too. Like he was the guy who did all the swipes right just to see how many girls said yes to him. Like he was super into that.
So the girl you
stuff.
went to the
I'm not
island
proud.
with wasn't a Tinder date.
No. No.
I think Bryce should be giving me some
Oh my
Tinder
goodness,
tips.
yeah, he can be
But
really
we'll
good.
get to that.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm kind of rusty, but I could help you out.
But you know what? He's really good at writing profiles
I'm
because
the
he's a
best at
boy.
profiles, yeah.
So he knows like what boys are reading for on the profile.
Yeah, just no sunglasses. Gotta see your face. Don't take one in the backyard.
I didn't even
sunglasses
think
on.
they were reading the profile anyway.
Oh, everybody's reading. Everybody's reading.
Really?
My profile was the worst. You know what it said? Beer, cats, running, drums.
Pizza?
Toronto, pizza. Like, it was so
Yeah,
stupid.
classic. That's what every guy's thing
And
says.
I had a beer.
Pizza, beer, dogs and or cats,
Yeah.
like bikes, coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee. Oh,
Yeah.
for sure you had coffee.
Okay,
on yours,
like
yeah.
that's everyone.
So you like everything in Toronto. You're just a regular person.
Yeah.
Good for you.
But like, needless to say, we met,
drink water?
and then he didn't call to like ask me out or anything. So finally, I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
you
what are
did
you
it.
doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, one of my dates canceled tonight. I can totally hang out.
That's hilarious.
That is what you said.
Oh, in a
And
text
then-
message?
Yep. He was like, one of my dates canceled. No, it wasn't even texting. It was email because we were at work, and you're like, one of my dates canceled. Yeah, sure. So then that was Canada Day.
It was more like
Bryce.
It was more like, what are you doing tonight? I might have plans. I feel like either I'm just trying to remember and really back
I probably can pull up the email.
I can probably pull up the email.
It's an email or a text?
Email. Early days we were email.
I think what happened was this. Probably I was gonna say something like, I might have plans. Really sorry, because I was supposed to meet someone at Cold Tea, a Tinder date.
Cold tea. That's
Yeah.
that's intense.
Right? For a first
No one knows
date?
what cold
Yeah.
tea is,
But-
but it's a crazy place. Okay.
Yeah. And then she bailed, so I was like, good.
Right.
And then I was like, yeah, I'm totally free. But Tinder was like part of our conversation.
It
I
definitely
told her
was.
my name was Alan. Like, it was this whole thing. It was an elaborate story. So, I mean, there's some backstory there. We were talking about Tinder. So for me to say, oh yeah, Tinder date canceled. Yeah, it was true.
Well, no,
but-
I will say if you're being open about your Tindering,
Yeah,
then
that's why.
you actually like the person, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you had someone else you actually liked on Tinder or someone else you were dating coinciding with Tiffany,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be so free, open with
No, I keep it closed.
Exactly.
I keep it closed.
So I
It was
actually
open.
think if a guy was telling me all about his Tinder dates and kind of acting very like sarcastically about them, I think, okay, he doesn't like any of these people. It's a game, and he actually likes me, and he's telling me.
See, I didn't think that. So I thought he had like all the girls, whatever. And then I met with, so then we hung out on Canada Day, but it was still just like hanging out, whatever, cool. And then I went for a walk with my friend Carolina, who I don't think you've ever met, but we were going for a walk, and I was talking about Bryce, and I said, I really don't know what to do. Like, he's going to his cottage this weekend. I'm not going to see him. I'm not really sure. He's playing all cool. Like, he's not asking me out. I'm not really sure what to do. And, but so she's like, okay, let's do something. So I was having a whole bunch of friends over at my house, and I pretended that one of my friends loved IPA, okay? And I was like, hey, Bryce, email, again, we were on email.
Oh, this is
hey,
good.
Bryce, like, I'm having a whole bunch of girls over. One of them really loves IPAs, and I don't know anything because I hate IPAs. So I was like, can you please tell me your favorite, one of the best IPAs for me to get for this party?
This is you pulling strings. This is you
Oh
just
my
like
God.
point of entry
Yes.
I didn't know.
conversation.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
She's a publicist. I didn't even
He
know.
didn't
Yeah,
know.
hilarious.
He didn't know.
Yeah,
So
trickster.
then
Yeah.
he told me, he's like, well, this one's good, but this one's my favorite. So then after I finished my walk with Carolina, I went to the LCBO and I got a 6-pack of his favorite beer. And the next day I went home and I wrote a note. He had told me that at his cottage, when they got there, all the family, when they get there every weekend, they all take off all their clothes and it's a nudist colony. That's what he had told me. So I got this 6-pack of beer and I wrote a card on it that I tied to it.
cards.
And I said,
Hold on. Let me pick up there.
no, I want to say what the card said.
Okay, you say what this card said.
So I wrote on the card and it said, to help with the nudity, have a great weekend.
Yeah.
And then I couriered it to his office.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and that's what. So I get to work on the Friday.
I didn't know this part.
I get to work on the Friday, and Jeff, the shipping manager, was like, "Boop!" He buzzes me, and he's like, "Bryce, you better come in here." And I was like, "Oh my!" I was a coordinator, so like I was always moving materials around, and it was post production, so it could have been a hard drive or like something audio related, something video related. It's like, "Oh no, what did I do? Like, what did I drop the ball on yesterday? I don't know." Get to shipping, he's like, "What is this?"
Oh my god.
Look over, and there's a 6-pack of Naughty Neighbor. Nickelbrook?
Yeah.
Naughty Neighbor. That
That's
was
good.
like,
It's called that. That's funny. The
Yeah.
nudity.
Yeah.
yeah, with the girl, like the pinup girl.
Yeah.
With a note on it, and I'm like, And yeah, like this is help with the nudity on Upper Campus. We just built this deck in the,
At Upper
in the
Campus,
woods,
like up in the woods, that one.
on the top of the rocks. So we just built that little platform, Upper Campus. So like this is help with the nudity tea, and I was like, you got to be kidding me.
What did you think?
I was like, I was like, I didn't have to do anything, and I am like locked in. I don't know what I said that night or what I did, but I am like installed. So,
But you were stoked on that. Like
I
you
was super stoked.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I couldn't believe. I was just like, I was amazed with my own like blind achievement, but also super stoked.
Right, it is a blind achievement.
It was. So then,
An idiot pussy guys would be like, think it's like too much.
yeah. And I was like, because Jeff would have been like, he was like, what is this? Like who? And it was like this. I met this girl.
Yeah.
At Derek's birthday party. He's like, that's it. She sent it to your work. I'm like, well, I told her what company I work for. It's not like this clandestine operation.
yeah.
It's a huge company.
Yeah.
And she just happened to remember because she's a nice person. You know, she just didn't forget where I worked. Then I went to the cottage. And
Thought
then,
about her all weekend.
Thought
And
about her all weekend.
And was
obviously-
the worst at texting too. Like
well, because
the
at the
worst.
Tiff later found out
Sorry.
at the cottage, like we just hang out. Like you really try not to text. So I was sleeping in this little room that's kind of in a bunkie, and I had put the phone in the drawer because I didn't
Yeah, you're
want to
supposed
be
to be like
online.
unplugged. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to be unplugged, and I was really enjoying the naughty neighbor with my family, like hanging out. And then I'd go back to the phone, there would be like 4 text messages, and then I'd write something, and then I'd come back, and there would be like more.
Right.
It was just like, oh, so crazy. And then, can I tell the story about the book? No? Yeah? The journal, the first anniversary.
Oh yeah, sure.
So the first anniversary gift that Tiff gave me is a paper anniversary. So I had a friend I met her at a market.
I wouldn't know that, but what do you mean? Like how there's like diamond?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's diamond, all this stuff. So
Champagne.
paper is the first one.
Paper.
I think there's a modern
God.
version, but paper is like traditional. So I had met someone vending jam, like I was selling jam, and it was this spring like flower show. So she was doing hand folded flowers. She was making paper
Yeah.
flowers. So like, oh, nailed it. Like I got the paper anniversary, so I got a paper Daisy's favorite flower.
You're talking
Killer.
about your anniversary after
A
you were
year, yeah.
married.
Oh, I'm jumping way ahead.
Okay, sorry,
I'm
just
jumping
making
way,
sure.
way
Because I was
ahead.
like, wait, you're selling jam? Yes,
We
that's
got
of
married.
course
I
after
was
you're
selling
married.
jam at a show, and I
Yeah.
met someone who makes flowers, and I got.
But he's
Tiffany.
gonna tie it back. I know where
I
he's
will
going.
type back, and then Tiffany for the first anniversary got me a paper journal, and then sporadically throughout she's got, because she had taken screenshots of the early text messages.
Yes, I know.
She's got drawings of the text messages.
Oh God, I can't. This is so Tiffany too, because like
Yeah.
I just can't do this shit. But like that's very Tiffany.
That's just what she thinks of, and
Yeah.
then she does it, and she follows through, and then she gives it to you with a straight face, and you're like, oh my God, like it's over the top.
Yeah.
The naughty neighbor was over the top. The beer was over the top, and then the text message about the beer. It's like years later, I'm like, this is just.
I just want to
insane.
say though, I know we jumped ahead and now you know we got married. Obviously, we're here celebrating our anniversary. But at the cottage, I was like, he's not texting us, messaging back, blah, blah, whatever. Then I knew he was coming back on Sunday.
Right.
And still he didn't say, hey, do you want to get together tonight? Hey, do you want to do something when I'm back? Like none of that,
Right.
right?
Well,
so finally,
no. I was reverting. I know this for a fact. I was reverting to that. Not sure where I'm going, kind of lonely. No one's really,
Like, were you being not confident about yourself? Like being like,
Yes.
there's no way she could like me.
Yes.
That's what you were being like?
Yeah, and I got the beer, and I understood it, and then, the weekend erased it. And I was like, by the time the weekend was over, I was like,
Bryce!
I don't know. Do you think? Probably not. Let's go back to work and see what happens. Maybe she'll text me, maybe she won't. I know.
And so then I was like, well, are you home now? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, meet me. So we biked and met in Trinity Bellwoods Park.
Yeah, meet me in Bellwoods. Yeah, so let's just meet in the middle. Because she was in Parkdale, I was in the annex. So we met in the middle, and kind of like I rode around for a little bit because I was super fast. I was freaking out. I was like, I should just go home. This is so dumb. And then she brought some
my God.
beers. She brought some beers. We hung out on the bench. And
We
that
still
was
go back there every
Yeah, we
year.
still go back there. That was our first, I guess that was like our first like planned date. The first
Yeah.
one was the
Yeah.
unplanned, and then the second, the
Yeah,
spontaneous.
I like your first meeting story though because it's so large, like so much happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
very organically.
Yeah.
Going with the flow, it's like so fun.
Yeah, I was like, I can't believe it. Like the girl who was shit talking me, like, oh, her, yeah, Tiffany, yeah, that.
But
She's offering me a
see-
ride.
Bryce is
Like,
gonna
it
eat
was
more
all just
pizza.
like-
Yeah, I
know that.
can't also believe though that you were that like not confident about yourself. To me, that's very surprising, but it's also very Tiffany, and this is what she always tells me when I'm dating. It's just like, you just ask, you just do it. She's like, I did it with Bryce, like just go for it. But that's like Tiffany. Like Tiffany's job as a publicist, she has to make the moves. She
You
has
have
to
to
make
go
shit
for it.
happen.
Yeah.
That's just Tiffany, and so
Oh, thanks.
Happy anniversary, B.
Thanks. I gave you some crust that went into your drink.
Oh yeah. Oh
Just
yes.
crust
Yes,
in
you
your
did.
drink.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, no, it's
But like that's very her, and it just worked out, so it didn't matter. Like that's how you organically came together, and she made it kind of happen. To be honest,
kind of like
she
getting
made it happen,
engaged.
Bryce. So
Pretty much, yeah. So, but I think I was also kind of just being aloof, just because I thought that was like a good idea in some stupid teenage part of my brain.
Maybe you have some of those. Maybe you have some aloof ones.
And
Yeah.
in hindsight, though, obviously it all worked out. But are you like? Because I feel like as an advice point to men, don't be aloof.
Never be aloof.
It's ridiculous. Or maybe you disagree, but I just think like what?
I don't disagree. I think aloofness is the biggest mistake that from my perspective, men, maybe women do it too. I know that men do it. It's this bravado. It's this what does Terry Crews call it? Hypermasculinity, or like this faux masculinity that's been defined.
Like
for
if I
us.
play it cool and I don't do too much, then I seem really like cool and manly.
You seem like an
something.
asshole.
And a pussy.
Yeah.
If you fucking go for it like she is, then you're a regular human being. Like, I like you too.
Yeah.
Let's kiss. And just, I don't know if this is a PG show.
No, it's not a PG show.
But we did kiss the night we met. We did have a kiss.
But like,
So-
did you do more than a kiss?
We did a tiny bit more than
Okay.
a kiss. Tiffany told me we wouldn't do any more than kissing. And then she came into my awesome condo.
And saw the dolls and the cat was
And
like,
everything was fine. Yeah,
and then
totally.
we kissed,
Yeah.
and then we hugged. So the
Yeah.
rest was history.
Yeah.
Okay, but those seriously are the best stories. That's why it gives me
Yeah.
hope. I'm
Yeah.
not so much of a romantic as you. I'm also not as sentimental. But I like those things. I like when I hear about it. It's almost like I want the guy to be a bit more like that, maybe.
Yeah, but maybe that's because I
I'm
don't
not
know.
going to be that way.
I've heard, I'm not an expert. I've read a lot about sort of this crisis with men where men are sort of losing their sense of what it really means to be masculine because no one wants to conform to that masculinity that was defined in the 50s and 60s because it's misogynistic and it doesn't work for anybody, right? And
it's
so,
an epidemic, though. This
It
is
is.
an epidemic because I think we've also emasculated men.
at the same
lot.
time in that process they've very much been emasculated, and so you don't really have that same identity. And I think that's part of where my confidence went, was like I don't know what I'm supposed to be. I don't know what's genuine anymore because I know what I think, I know what I'm into and stuff, and I know what I like and I know what I want to do, but I don't know what's appropriate in this new landscape, and that's defined partly by me, partly by others, and blah blah blah. And there's masculinity, and there's like more femininity, or a different structure of masculinity, and it's just like, man, it's confusing, right? And I think the epidemic is also like men are sort of lonely in a sense, like we're alone, and like we're sort of supposed to be okay being alone, like the lone wolf living in the woods, fighting animals and going off hunting and stuff. Like that's the kind of we're even going back to that. And so I think like it was a good thing, certainly for me personally, to be kind of thrust into a relationship, but also thrust into this marriage, in the sense that like thrust into an engagement, like you wanted this every day, now you get it, now you have it. You weren't
like, it's like you had to catch up to, it's like you had an idea or a vision or a manifestation, but you weren't quite in the physical here and now, like ready for it. So you had to just sort of catch up to yourself.
Exactly, catch up to
And
myself.
she was
Exactly.
almost, you were the catalyst to you. I mean, I'm going to liken it to the way I talk about, like, when we talk about, like, alignment or whatever. It's almost like she's the catalyst to you, like, connecting and aligning to what you actually want. And I think it can be confusing. I think what you just articulated about men specifically, and in an epidemic proportion, it is a problem where men are kind of a bit confused because they aren't tapping into that, like, true essence of who they are out of fear or for thinking they might be not masculine enough if they do so.
Yeah.
And if they do so, they'll actually connect with who they truly are.
And masculinity is just being a man. Like that, it's not an ideal. It's just
You
who
really
you
just
actually
hit
are.
something really profound on the head, I think. And I think what you articulate is what so many guys feel.
Yeah, and I think that's something we can explore now, especially because we're allowed to express ourselves now. We're allowed to talk about how we feel, what we're afraid of. We're allowed to cry. We're allowed to show our emotions. And it's not a weakness. Like, we're allowed to express what we feel because it's beneficial to everybody.
Please express what you feel. Like, can I tell you how many
Always.
times I'm in a relationship or even just like dating and I'm just like, what are you thinking and feeling? Like, I cannot deal with this if you don't tell me.
Nothing.
Like,
But
I don't
I
get
also
some kind of
feel-
gauge.
Or
Yeah.
I feel like, based on stories you've told me, then you get nothing and then like to the maximum. You get to the maximum sometimes when people are like very emotional, like get very angry for reasons that make no sense.
Maybe.
Well, the anger is
But
different.
I would actually rather have that as it gives me a sense of something's going on as
Right,
opposed
yeah.
to like flatlining.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes anger is actually better than nothing.
Yeah.
But it's still just like a type of, it's just a negative expression and it's not really genuine.
Well, it's
you
not
know?
productive. But
And it's not productive. It can't
Well,
be. Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Well,
if we could just all express ourselves and just be
Because
genuine.
how old are you? You're young.
I'm going to be 36 in November.
Oh my god, yeah. So you still have
How
all
are
that
you
time.
guys?
Well, when I met Bryce, I was 30. I just turned 35. Turning 35.
When we met?
Yeah, 34?
Nope.
34.
Nope.
33?
Bad math, T. No, like 32.
No, I wasn't.
You're 36.
How old are you
Okay,
now?
yes. No, I'm turning 38.
Oh, see?
Oh!
Oh!
I'm 36. I'm turning 37.
Yeah.
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 I'm turning 37.
Yeah.
Good. Glad we
So-
got all of that sorted.
Right, me
It's
too,
so
age.
it's so useful to know your own age and the ages of others.
Yes.
That's really good.
Yes
Okay.
and no. You know, sometimes it's irrelevant.
But because we were in our 30s and we knew what we wanted, so at least there was that. I had that foundation personally. I was
Right.
I was in the 30s mode. I'm sure you experienced this. You stop giving a fuck in your 30s.
yeah, I don't.
Because in
Yeah.
your 20s, I was just having this conversation today with a 20-something-year-old. I think he's like 24, and I was saying something about people in their 20s, and he was like, go on, like expecting me to have to backpedal. I was like, I didn't really have a point, but what I was trying to sort of get at was in your 20s, you're very wrapped up. You're very wrapped up in
yes.
yourself and other things.
And everything's everything's like a hyper
oh
drama.
God, yeah. And then in your 30s, you're like, well, that didn't work. Who cares? I didn't die.
Worse things have happened.
Worst things have happened. I ended up getting hit by a car. I didn't die. I was fine. Oh, nothing broke. I'm okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it just, I don't know. The 30s changed things. So when we met, it was like, well, the Tinder thing was more of just a game. It wasn't like a real thing. I wasn't looking for love because I just didn't see it happening. It was bullshit. It was just,
That's also what I will say is like we both didn't expect it.
yeah.
And that's the thing when you don't expect though.
When
Well,
you
and
don't
I will
expect.
also say, like, you know how everyone always tells you, like, when you know, all that garbage stuff?
It's true though.
Oh my god, it's 100% true.
It's 100% true.
So,
Love
which
at
I
first
hate to
sight and
say.
everything. It's
Except I
actually
thought
true.
I knew,
Before.
but
yeah.
I knew, and it is what it is at the same time. So
Yes.
when you know, it doesn't necessarily like nothing
It
lasts.
doesn't mean it lasts forever. No,
No.
no, exactly.
Because
Yeah.
Exactly.
you've been married before, haven't you?
Yes, yeah.
See, so it's just what it is. You're on a journey,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, I would say.
but you guys are forever. So.
Well, we'll see. We'll see about that, yeah? Forever. Together forever. Ever.
I
Yeah.
am pretty impulsive.
Yeah, it's quite true. But also, I think that's one thing Bryce and I always say to people when they talk to us, because everyone's always like, oh my God, you guys are so cute and so
Yeah.
awesome, is that like being married is hard. And no one ever
Yeah.
talks about that.
Yeah, it's really
No one
hard
talks
work.
about,
It's a job.
or being married or being in a long-term relationship, like no one ever
yeah.
talks about
Yeah.
how hard it is.
Yeah.
Like, I went from being this really fun, cool chick who could do whatever she wanted, sometimes would tell Bryce I was busy just because I wanted to hang out on the couch and watch Netflix, to someone who, like, we're together. And I mean, it's very
Together.
different for us because obviously we're both entrepreneurs and we're both working from home, so we're together literally all of the time. But even when Bryce had a day job, still when you have that downtime away from work, you're still with a person.
Yeah.
You're still like all day Saturday, all day
Yeah.
Sunday,
Yeah.
and then you have to, even if you don't want to, you still get into this thing of like, is it okay if I do this, or are you going to do this?
Yeah, you're
Or-
just
But to be
accountable to
honest,
someone
someone.
else.
Yeah.
spending time, it's like you're always like redefining yourself.
Yeah.
And redefining what you think of the other person, and like you think that you're like I met Tiff and I probably thought that she was an exact way. I thought her personality was exactly some way. And it's not exactly some way. There's also a person who's not putting on a front because she's in public, and there's also a person who's not all that bubbly all the time.
And it's evolving day after day after day.
And Tiff's changing anyway,
Yeah.
you know? Like
As
and
are
so am
you.
I. And we're always constantly evolving. And like I don't think it matters that we didn't know each other for 10 years before we got married. I think it's gonna be the same no matter what, just kind of reversed maybe. It's like you're gonna have to forge that relationship over a long period of time anyway. It doesn't matter when you start. You know, and like we've had to redefine our expectations, redefine what it means to like negotiate and compromise, and not settle, but compromise. And because you can't settle, because then there's something left to chance. You can't leave anything to chance. You have to put yourself on the line.
Yeah.
Like I did months of therapy because I'm like, I don't know myself enough. And I had to learn about
Yay,
myself.
Bryce! Going to
Bryce!
therapy! Everyone go.
Everyone go to therapy.
Everyone go. We all go.
Take a lesson, honestly. And that was from Tiff.
Yeah.
Tiff taught me because she had done therapy to get over a whole bunch of shit. It was like, well, it worked for someone, and she's doing exciting things with her life, and she's doing well socially. She's doing well, in so many ways. It's like, not only do I want that, it's not an envy thing. It's like, that's a model for me. That's a model for anybody. If you don't know who you are, go learn who you are. You're right there. You're inside yourself. But did you say catch up to yourself, or just find your true self? Just find who you are. Yeah. That's what it's all about, And that's sort of that's the journey I took, and that's what it took really, because we wouldn't have lasted very long.
Yeah.
If I hadn't done that.
Sure
That was only like maybe a year and a half into the relationship. I just started the jam company. I was like working so much. Because I was working, but I was doing this all the time. I didn't know how to do anything, so I was like cooking for hours till 4 a.m. and like nothing made sense. So I had no idea what business was all about. But I just had to like take a step back and just reevaluate all that stuff, because I was like not paying attention to the right things. The relationship could have gone nowhere.
Because the relationship is its own. Like you have the business, you have you, and you have the relationship, and the relationship is its own entity, like a business that you have to put time and effort and work into, and learn about it, and learn how to do it.
It's its own rules, and there's probably rules that are applicable to like that you could write in a book, and some that aren't. Like I couldn't talk about, the way that Tiffany just has to be treated, the way that Tiffany has to live, the environment that she needs.
That's just the custom kit that you're getting.
You got it. Yes, exactly.
So figure it out.
Yeah, and then I've got mine too.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
I think it's also important. I mean, people also don't talk about boundaries, right? Like as soon as Penny Candy Jam started getting very big, I said to Bryce, I can't be your wife and your business partner. Yeah. You have to decide which one you want, and hopefully you pick that you want me to be your wife or your business partner, but I can't be both. So you have to decide, because our relationship it's not going to withstand doing both. And and so I think that's also something, and of course for everyone, it's not that 2 people are entrepreneurs. It can be that 2 people like really want to plan all the trips all the time, or like whatever it is, right? But there do have to be some boundaries, because without that, I don't even know, because like it was almost now a year ago that I sold my shares back to Bryce, and so now he's like the full owner of Penny Candy Jam, and of course I sold them for like $1, and it didn't really mean anything, but it did.
But symbolically, it was for tax purposes. It was just a legal thing, but for symbolically, it was real life. It was like, Tiff's a publicist. She's really busy. I was using her services sort of for free because she was co-owner. And it wasn't working for either of us, because I'm not the type of client that Tiff needs.
Yes.
Because Tiff works on polished clients. Tiff works with professional.
And this is your journey at the end of the day. This is your passion, your idea.
Mine.
And it's
and
your
I saw
journey.
it as ours, and it was convoluted into the relationship, because I didn't see the
Don't worry,
relationship
I
as a
get
separate
it.
entity.
You don't need to tell me.
You understand, but when you shape the brand, you
Yeah.
think it's with 2 people. It's like, wait a second, there's a reason I was leading. Oh, it's mine. Okay, it's fine. And you can get out though, but you could Tiff could safely exit it and be like, whatever, not even worry about it. Now she can enjoy it just as a food.
Eat the
I get to eat
and
the
as
jam.
a fun thing.
And as a jam cocktail.
Anyway, love you guys.
Love you too.
Love you
Thanks
too.
for having
Thank
us.
you.
Thanks for pizza on our
Nailed it.
anniversary.
Thanks for
the
sharing.
sauce.
Thanks for sharing the love, eating the love, sharing your love
I'm
story.
gonna take this to go.
It's amazing. All the
I
links
can't
to
wait.
their stuffs below. Tiffany is my publicist, just FYI.
Lucky. I'm a lucky lady.
I'm
Right?
lucky. I'm so lucky.
I
Very
do love that
grateful.
in your bathroom, every single card that's hanging up there is for me.
She writes the most amazing cards. It's just something I can't do, and Tiffany's so good at it. Okay, thank you. Watch me eat stuffed crust DONAIR pizza. Get my cookbook. Subscribe, and I'm gonna be doing this more often.
Don't miss it.
See ya.
Oh my god, it's so good.